Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, where we crack open corporate documents to find the real story, and today we are diving into Alphatec Holdings Incorporated recent filing. Just a heads up, this report is mostly about what they expect to tell us and not concrete numbers yet, so we are looking at the early picture. Make sure to hit subscribe and join our Discord community linked in the description below for more exclusive insights. Okay, let's get into it. So what we have here is a Form 8K filing from Alphatec Holdings Incorporated. Think of this as a company telling the world about a major event that happened. In this case, the big news is about their financial results for the year that just ended, the 31st of December 2025. The company put out a press release essentially giving us a sneak peek at how they think they performed financially in 2025. Now, here is the important part: the company is still doing its final accounting check. This means the numbers they are sharing are not the final, audited digits. They are preliminary, and as they wrap up their books, there is a chance these numbers could change, and those changes might even be pretty significant. It is always a bit of a guessing game with preliminary numbers, but it gives us a direction. Alphatec Holdings Incorporated is a publicly traded company. Their common stock trades under the ticker symbol ATEC on the Nasdaq Global Select Market. This means anyone can buy or sell shares of the company, and their performance is something a lot of people are watching. The real meaty part of these filings, especially when they relate to financial results, is usually found in the press release itself. That is where the company tries to put its best foot forward, highlighting what it feels are its key achievements or challenges. Press release of Alphatec Holdings, Inc., dated the 12th of January 2026. This is the exhibit that contains the actual preliminary financial information. Since the filing itself states that the company hasn't finalized its financial statements, we are working with the information presented in this press release. What we're really looking for in this press release, which is attached as an exhibit, are those key financial highlights. Companies typically announce things like total revenue, profitability, and maybe some key operational metrics. Because these are preliminary, they are trying to give investors an idea of the company's trajectory. We need to keep in mind that these are educated guesses from the company and not the final word. For example, when a company releases preliminary results, they might say their revenue for the year was X amount. This gives investors an immediate snapshot of whether the company is growing or shrinking its top line. They might also mention earnings per S-share or EPS, which is a measure of profitability per S-share of stock. A rising EPS is generally a good sign, while a falling one can signal trouble. However, the biggest caveat here, as stated in the filing, is that these numbers are subject to change. The process of closing the financial books for the year involves a deep dive into all transactions, and it is not uncommon to find errors or adjustments that need to be made. These adjustments could potentially be material, meaning they could significantly alter the preliminary picture. So, while the press release offers an early look, the audited financial statements will be the definitive report. The company's business is likely in the medical device sector, given its name and the typical focus of companies that file these kinds of reports. This sector can be highly competitive, with companies constantly innovating and trying to gain market share. Financial performance in this industry is often tied to product development, regulatory approvals, and the ability to effectively market and sell those products. So, while we don't have the exact numbers from the press release in this filing itself, the crucial takeaway is that Alphatec Holdings Incorporated is signaling its year and preliminary financial performance. Investors will be eagerly awaiting the final audited results to get the complete and accurate picture. It is a reminder to always look beyond the initial announcements and wait for the finalized financial statements to make informed investment decisions. Now, looking at this filing more broadly, we see a company that is proactive in communicating with its stakeholders. Even when the numbers are fluid, they've met their reporting obligations by filing this 8K within the required timeframe of the earliest event reported, which was the 12th of January 2026. The structure of the form itself ensures that all relevant identifying information about the company, its jurisdiction of incorporation, and its stock exchange listings are clearly laid out. This is a standard practice, but it is the content of Item 2.02, Results of Operations and Financial Condition, that always carries the most weight for investors and analysts. The inclusion of the press release as an exhibit is crucial because it is the primary source of the preliminary financial information being disclosed. The legal disclaimer accompanying this information is also a standard and necessary part of these filings, protecting the company from liability related to preliminary data that may be subject to revision. It essentially says, here is what we think, but it is not final yet. So, what does this early look tell us about Alphatec Holdings Incorporated? It's a mixed bag right now. On one hand, the company is communicating its expected performance, which suggests a level of transparency. On the other hand, the emphasis on preliminary and subject to adjustments means we need to hold off on making any firm conclusions. This is a company in a dynamic market, and their financial health will depend on numerous factors, including their product pipeline and their ability to navigate regulatory environments. The real story will unfold when the audited financials are released. For now, we have an early indication, but a cautious approach is warranted. Alright, that is our quick dive into Alphatec Holdings Incorporated's latest 8K. What is your take on this preliminary financial disclosure? Do you think this early peek is helpful, or does it create more uncertainty? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this breakdown gave you some clarity, hitting that like button really helps us out, and be sure to subscribe for more corporate deep dives. Don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description for more exclusive content and discussions. Thanks for watching, see you next time.